We're heading in below the barn, everybody. It's the 26th of October, and early this morning, the Heavy 9 crossed the road into this block from Cherry Ridge, and later on in the morning, he hit a scrape right here on the edge of the field below the farm, and it's a big community scrape. There's a lot of bucks hitting it, but only the Heavy 9's the only mature buck that's hit it really the entire year. And he's in this, I'm pretty sure he's in this block of woods, most likely down on the creek bottom on the neighbors, I would assume. But with him hitting this morning, I wonder if the evening he'll come back up around and hit it again on his way back across the road, if that's what he's going to do. We got a perfect wind to hunt this spot right here, straight out of the north, so it's blowing right across the field. We'll climb up the tree and I'll show you the view. This deer is ancient. This is the oldest deer on the road. 6.5 plus. He looks like a freaking heifer. The deer's absolutely mammoth. His doesn't have much for a rack, but huge body on him. Ancient deer would be a trophy. I mean, that's really the whole goal, is to get him old. And this one's old, so if we can fool him and get an arrow in him, that's a heck of a good archery season. There's a fresh scrape right there. Okay, I made it up in the tree, everybody. I don't know if I mentioned it on the way in, but it's the 26th of October. And the setup is right there. There's a gator trail that goes right through here. And there's a big scrape right there at like 22 yards. I don't know how good you can see it, but that's right where the Heavy 9 hit this morning. And when he left that scrape, he was heading in that direction, which is straight to the north. So if I anticipate if he comes back up through here, he's going to come up from over here, walk right through here, and I'll shoot him on that scrape at 20 yards. In a perfect world. The wind's perfect, going straight out across the field. Right there's the scrape that he hit. There's the camera. Of course, got the sun right in my face right here, which isn't great, but whatever. This field out here is all cover seeded with a winter rye cover crop. The deer haven't really been eating it though. I don't know if it needs to get a little colder in order for them to really care about it, but as of right now, they haven't really been hitting it too hard. There's a couple fresh scrapes right here on the edge of the field, right out in front of me. I'm gonna have to take a few ranges here and make sure that I know the range to everything, but we'll settle in and see what happens. The other thing I wanted to mention to you guys too that was pretty interesting, so yesterday there was EIOT and Blackie were out in the food plot across the road, and they had went in front of the camera. Both of them had both antlers, and then Blackie came walking back by with one antler. So I think he got in a tangled up with EIOT, and EIOT snapped off his entire right antler, which is really a good thing because we'd like to see him get to 4.5. And now I can't imagine anybody shooting it with one antler. So that's actually a blessing in disguise. Hopefully that will ensure he gets through the year and we can see Blackie at a 4.5-year-old mature buck next year. But he got his butt licked, I think, by EIOT. And then what was funny is he crossed the road back over into here right after that. So he's actually in this woods right now, I believe. on the back side of where I'm at right now is Carl's creek bottom and his food plots down there. Man, his plots look absolutely awesome again this year. He's going to be holding a lot of deer in here throughout the winter especially. But we'll keep our eyes peeled and I'll turn you on when stuff happens here. Oh, there's Blackie with one horn. chasing the doe all over the place.
We'll go ahead and wrap up tonight's hunt. It was the first time while hunting I got eyes on Blackie, and it was cool to see him on the hoof. Man, that deer is so unique, and the amount of history that I have with that deer is incredible. Ever since he was a 1.5 year old buck all the way to 3.5, which is what he is this year. As a 2-year-old, the thing went by me literally every time I hunted, it seemed like. I had him go by all the time. Found both his sheds this past spring, and it's just a really unique buck. Just the other day, I think got tangled up with a buck that I call a unit in the food plot. Went in there with both horns, left with only one. And as you guys saw tonight, you know, obviously he has a single horn, which I'm actually kind of happy about. I'm hoping that, you know, that way, if somebody was going to shoot him, that maybe they wouldn't now. I'd love to see him get to 4.5. Just cross my fingers and hope that he stays right close to the property and doesn't leave and get whacked by somebody somewhere else. But, you know, there's always a possibility these deer are free-ranging and they could end up a long ways away on a hot doe in no time. So there's only so much you can do to try to get them to maturity, but I'm doing everything I can. The other buck I saw was a buck that I've encountered already this year once, and my brother actually encountered him back in the hidey hole food plot once as well. Originally, I thought he was a 2.5-year-old, but seeing him on the hoof and seeing his body structure, I think he's a 3-year-old. Pretty decent buck nonetheless. He's, you know, I think has a beautiful frame, could really be something special in a year as a 4-year-old if he could get through. He's another buck that, man, I'd love to see. You know, he's 1 year away from being something good, so fingers crossed. They were out there bumping those does all over the place. Had a little button buck bed down right next to me, and that was pretty much it for the evening. Hope everybody enjoyed the video. We'll see you on the next one. Things are starting to heat up here. Hopefully you get out and have some luck.